Good evening, Good Shepherd, and welcome to the online campus of Good Shepherd Church. Tonight's lineup includes a look at our phenomenal response to our Pack the Pickup food drive, a visit to Father Sullivan's rectory kitchen. He's going to take us on a tour and tell us an idea on how to use leftover turkey. And we'll visit with Deb, who will tell us about the patron saint of Catholic Charities. And we'll have our, finally, Stump the Priest and sidekicks. And here's our panel: Father Sullivan, Brian Pritchard, and Deb Salden.
Good evening, Good Shepherd. How are you? Glad you're with us tonight in this November. It finally feels November. How are we doing, everybody?
Good. Love it.
Really good.
Love the cold weather.
This is my time of year. It's all about the sweaters. Deb, do you like the cold weather?
I prefer 80.
Prefers 80? 80.
Yeah,
As a low or a high?
As the high.
As a high. Okay. There we go. Wow.
I need the 4 seasons.
I need 4 seasons too. I need
I like
4
the
seasons.
seasons.
Do you like the seasons?
I like the seasons. The change is good.
The change is good. Exactly. Helen, do you like the cold?
No.
Helen has an electric or battery-operated heated jacket that she wears sometimes.
Year round.
Year round, exactly. She likes it warm. She likes it warm. We hope you are all doing great. We had an incredible weekend here at Good Shepherd, didn't we? It was just absolutely
Wonderful.
amazing. We had a lot going on. We had Pack the Pickup. We had the first FM transmitted mass here in our parking lot. So a lot going on, but we had really a lot of exciting things happening. We're so excited about that FM transmitter. It's amazing. We had a nice crowd in the parking lot. We were able to receive Holy Communion for the first time, some of them, since March. So that's
wonderful.
That's
Absolutely
really
beautiful.
It's important. Eucharist changes everything. Eucharist changes everything. So, and we're about 10 days away from Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know where
Unbelievable.
time's going.
I don't know where it's going either. I can't believe it. Because now it's the 17th of November. Too fast. Brian, what is your favorite dish on the Thanksgiving table?
I like the turkey.
The turkey?
Oh yeah, the dark meat.
Dark meat?
Dark meat.
Dark meat?
Dark meat. What else? Cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce?
With the berries in it.
The real
I was gonna
berries.
say batter the kind you slice down.
No, I don't
Yeah.
like the slice. I like the berries.
The berries. The
Yeah.
berries.
The real
Berries. Yeah.
What about you, Deb? What's
Mashed
your favorite?
potatoes.
Mashed potatoes?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not done? Okay. What else? The stuffing?
Keep going.
Salad. Everything. Stuffing. Yeah.
Dessert.
Anything but stovetop. I can't stand stovetop dressing.
No offense, stovetop. What?
Yeah. No offense. No offense. But yeah.
Do you like pumpkin pie?
No.
No.
I don't like anything pumpkin.
Don't know what to
Definitive.
say to that.
No. Huh?
Don't know what to say to that.
Yeah. I don't
It's like anti-Thanksgiving.
Well, everything's pumpkin spice anymore, isn't it?
That's true. It is
Everywhere
pumpkin
you
spice.
go.
You have pumpkin
There's
spice
pumpkin
latte,
spice, that-
coffee.
Got the coffee
Yeah,
cream.
pumpkin spice is alright. I don't like pumpkin pie. Just don't. Or yams. I don't like anything.
Oh, no yams. Maybe just the marshmallows on top of the yams. That's the best part.
That's all.
Toasted.
Toasted, exactly. Deb, what's your favorite dish on the Thanksgiving table?
Oh my goodness. Stuffing.
Stuffing?
So I do homemade stuffing.
Homemade.
Homemade stuffing is great. I like baked corn
Mm.
and all the desserts.
Wow. Do you put the stuffing in the bird or do it separately?
Separate.
Okay.
Separate.
My mom always put it in the bird, and that was, I know it's not the most,
Well, yeah, there's
Ideal
the one
thing.
in and then the one
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
they're both great.
yeah, exactly. Helen, what's your favorite dish on the Thanksgiving table?
I don't know. I'm usually so busy cooking. I don't
You're a picker.
hate to say this. I don't even sit down.
You don't sit
You
down?
walk around
I can
and
see that.
I can see Helen not sitting down, making sure everybody's taken care
Yeah,
of.
that's Helen.
and fed. That's Helen.
Helen doesn't stop.
That's our Helen.
She don't slow down.
That's our Helen.
I have to start cleaning up as soon as I get everything served
Yeah.
out, because then the dessert stuff comes out. So you got to
Yeah.
clear everything in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, yeah. It's a busy day. It's a busy, busy day, but a great day, too. One of my favorite days of the entire years.
You watch the football games?
Watch football games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
watch
you?
football games. Some of the games. Do you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Detroit. Who wants to watch Detroit Lions, right?
Exactly.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Undefeated Steelers.
The
Thanksgiving.
Lions always play on Thanksgiving Day, right?
All the time, yes.
There's a movie about that.
What is it?
with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
Oh.
And I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, but whatever happens is the one of them, I think Jack Lemmon is the cameraman on the sideline and gets knocked over by a football player. And then Walter Matthau is his brother-in-law and devised a scheme that this injury that Jack Lemmon received from the football player is going to make them a little fortune. And so I think it's called the fortune cookie, to tell you the truth.
We're gonna have to look at
We're
that.
gonna have to look this up.
Look that up, exactly.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of movies.
I love movies. I love old movies. I love black and white movies.
Yeah, me too.
Black and white. Because always the day after Thanksgiving, before you had Netflix, before you even had like TCM and CNN and all things, always on the Friday after Thanksgiving on WPIX from New York, that Friday they always played Miracle on 34th Street during the day. And that was like always a tradition.
Yeah.
Always a tradition.
Yeah.
I watch that.
Did you decorate your tree that day too?
No, my parents, we waited till the Sunday before
Yeah.
Christmas. I'm a little different than that. So
yeah.
Remember those Thanksgiving movies?
Oh,
King Kong, Mighty Joe Young.
Mighty Joe,
You don't
no,
remember those?
they were big movies that came out on Thanksgiving Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they didn't come out. They play them every Thanksgiving.
I remember that.
No,
I
in
remember
New York
that.
they did. You don't remember
We
Mighty
just
Joe
watched
Young?
football.
No.
Aw.
Wow, so
Maybe it was Christmas. I don't know.
how about
It's
it?
been a while.
I remember a lot of people go to the movies. Used to go to the movies on Thanksgiving evening. That was a
Yeah,
big thing
that
to
was
go to
a
the
thing.
movies. To go to the movies Thanksgiving night. Interesting though. So we'll see what Thanksgiving brings this year in this different type of environment that we're living in. So we keep praying and things like that. But we want to say congratulations to Good Shepherd. Brian, tell us about what took place. We're going to show you in a little bit of what this looked like today. But Brian, give us a heads up here about how this Pack the Pickup worked out.
Went great.
It was
It
amazing.
was so good. We had to get another truck. We packed 2 pickups.
Pack 2 pickups.
Packed 2 pickups. Yeah, one Saturday and one on Sunday. So thanks everybody. You did a great job. Everybody was happy. A lot of good food.
A lot of great
A
food.
lot of great food. And it was overwhelming. Thank you. In a good way.
And we want to thank especially Barb Zabady for allowing us, Barb and Harold for allowing us to borrow their truck.
Absolutely.
And then the second truck was Brian's. And so to fill it up. And we took that food down today to New Hope Ministries, just down the street, the 5000 block, I think it's 55 something Trindle Road in Mechanicsburg. And
Yes.
we'll show you how we delivered that food.
Hey everybody, Brian Pritchard here from Good Shepherd Parish. I want to thank you all for a great weekend for Pack to Pickup. We actually thought we were only have 1 pickup, but we have 2 pickups packed. Right now, we're going to bring it to the local food bank. So thanks again, great turnout. We're going to do it again soon. Thank you. You can see who's doing the work and who's filming.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
Keep filming. I'm just kidding. Oh,
You're welcome so much.
Another truck, too.
Yep.
What are we doing? Putting it in a box?
Right, madam.
Okay.
Gently.
Gently.
Heavy on bottom, remember?
Got the hired hands today helping.
Hands are good. How you doing?
Good.
Wow.
Made it. And then it goes back this way. And there's wonderful volunteers over here who actually then separate the food. We
Wow.
break it up in food groups.
Wow.
So, and it's first in, first out. So they'll pack everything up. And then if you come over this way, you see everything's broken up in the food groups. And so volunteers who are stacking the shelves for the guests to shop these are what they'll grab. They'll weigh them out, and then they put them in. Excuse me, sir. And then we put them on the shelves, and then they shop.
I gotta tell you, I was really moved by all that's happening there at New Hope Ministries. It's just very humbling to see what took place.
They have an amazing setup down there. So many volunteers, so much space that they're utilizing for the community.
It's amazing.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
I was outside.
Brian was
the
outside
truck.
and
So
packing the truck.
I didn't see inside.
We went inside for tours. But really, they do everything from food, pantry,
Yeah, it
to job placement, job
Yes.
training, emergency housing. Just really incredible.
Yes.
And we did not know, but they weigh the food that you bring them. And so, Brian, they gave you the total weight.
I sure did. It's right here. You ready?
Ready? Drum roll, please.
We did 2,755 pounds of food.
Wow.
That is huge.
That's huge. That
Now,
is huge.
now we did a little bit of the math, and if our math is correct, based on averages, so 1 pound of food averages about 3,500 calories. Okay, so when you times 3,500 times 2,755, that brings you almost 1,000,000 calories, 980,000 something calories.
Yep.
And then based on average intake, we took the highest that is recommended, 2,500.
Okay.
Okay, that amount of pounds of food would feed a family of 5 for over 2 years. Actually, for 777 days.
Wow.
So
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's enormous.
They were really impressed and,
They were.
and thankful at New Hope for what we brought to them.
I didn't realize how much it was until we started loading the truck.
Yeah, it's amazing. You guys were amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
It was
you.
so fun to be out there too, especially on Saturday when people are dropping things off, and to get a chance to chat with you and to get caught up on things and whatnot. But it was really a fun day. And thanks to Helen, because Helen, we borrowed your clothesline and clothespins to make our sign. So we hope all the clothespins came back.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So great things happening down there at New Hope Ministries. And they also do Christmas gifts for folks and whatnot. And we'll be helping with them with some of that this year. And I asked them, what is the greatest Christmas gift that they need? And they said they have trouble getting things for teenage boys and teenage girls, which makes sense because they're the hardest to shop for.
They are.
So put on your creative thinking caps, Good Shepherd, and see what we can do to find some creative gifts, Christmas gifts for teenage boys and teenage girls as part of our angel tree that will help support a number of charities here in the West Shore and Greater Harrisburg area, but in a special way, New Hope Ministries. So that brings us now to a new segment. We're going to go into the kitchen, and I'm going to show you what to do with an idea for leftover turkey. Because how many ways can you fix turkey after Thanksgiving? What do? Turkey salad?
I struggle.
Turkey salad?
Turkey
Turkey
sandwich.
sandwich.
Turkey sandwich?
Turkey
Yeah.
soup.
Yeah.
Turkey soup?
Right.
Yeah.
Turkey
Mix
croquettes?
it with the gravy and put it on the mashed potatoes
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Give it to the dogs.
give it to the dogs, exactly.
I don't have a dog.
Well, here we go. Hi everybody, welcome to the Rectory Kitchen. Today we're going to show you how to do something with leftover turkey that you might want to try to do after Thanksgiving. And it's a variation on a tetrazzini dish. And a tetrazzini is either a poultry or a fish, and it's made with spaghetti, and it's kind of like a baked spaghetti almost. However, instead of spaghetti, we're going to use spaghetti squash to make it a little different, to watch the carbs, but also we're going to probably make up the calories with the cheese. So it's a cheesy dish, and you can adjust any of these things, but what you're going to need is a spaghetti squash, okay?
you're going to need about 3 cups of turkey that has been cooked already. This is optional, but I add about a cup of ham chopped up just to give it a little more flavor. And then about 2 cups of mushrooms, about a half a cup of onions, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and some butter, some peas, and then 2 types of cheeses. This is a 5-cheese blend of Italian cheeses. So that's like provolone and Parmesan and Romano and Assaggio and mozzarella. About 2 cups of that and about 2 cups of the just plain mozzarella. And then the secret ingredient is a jar of Alfredo sauce. So we're going to take a look at how to do this. Again, all of these things, it's a casserole, so all of these things are kind of, negotiable, and you put in what you want. More or less as kind of baked pasta, but instead of spaghetti, we're going to use spaghetti stuffed squash. The hardest part of this entire process is cutting the spaghetti squash. It's a pretty hard type of squash, and so we're going to do our very best here without losing any fingers to cut this in the best half that we can. It won't be perfect, but that's okay. Well, we keep trying here. We'll try on the other end and go like this. Here we go. And we'll try to bring this through here. There we go. So, there's the inside of the spaghetti squash, and it's kind of almost like a cantaloupe or a honeydew. You see the seeds and whatnot. Now, people say save the seeds and toast them. Too much trouble for me. So, what we do, and I learned this when I was in high school, I worked at Roy Rogers. And so, we used to have cantaloupe, and they had us use an ice cream scoop to get the middle out. And so you want to take the middle out, the seeds and the stuff inside, those guts, and get that out as best you can without going too deep into the flesh or the fiber of the squash itself, because that's where we're going to get our spaghetti from. That's where we'll get our spaghetti from. So there's one. Well, I left the seed in there. And then here is the second half of that. You kind of get all those seeds out. And get them out. There we go. Oh, we got a seed in there. I did wash my hands before we started. So, what you're going to do then is take these 2 halves and put them on a cookie sheet. And I put parchment on the cookie sheet just because it's easier to clean up. You don't have to, but it makes it easier. Take some olive oil, and you're going to be able to coat the flesh of the spaghetti squash. Give it a nice coating of olive oil. It's going to add some flavor and also help later on when we make the spaghetti out of it. And then we're going to take some fresh ground pepper, and generously, and again up to you if you want to use some other spices, garlic, salt, or things like that and whatnot, and put that in. And then some regular salt to do that. And what we're going to do is going to then turn these upside down on top of the parchment. Okay. And we're going to put them into a 350 degree oven and roast them for about 45 minutes. We already have some in the oven today to show you, and they've been roasting for about 45 minutes today. Can you see how they had that beautiful, kind of got golden there and glossy? So we're going to let them rest a little bit because they're going to be very hot inside, extremely hot inside. But in the meantime, we're going to take some butter and our garlic and place it in a frying pan and get that going. Low and slow is how we want to go. We might go a little more than low to get our time, we're short on time. But we're going to take those, okay, and we're going to then saute the mushrooms, the garlic, and the onion together that we're going to add to this incredible baked pasta or imposter pasta. Impasta pasta tetrazzini. Okay, everybody, we're back. So our spaghetti squash is done, and we've already taken one out already, but here is what it looks like inside. Okay, and what you do, and it's still hot, and it's been out of the oven for about 25 minutes now, so it's incredible. But what you want to do is not go from tip to tip, but from side to side, and just pull it away from the shell, the skin, and you now have spaghetti. Spaghetti. And you can go down pretty close to the sides there and get that all out. Absolutely delicious. It's like very naturally buttery. And again, a vegetable, so that's good. But also then, it's less in carbs. So if you're watching carbs, it's a great thing. So we've had our mushrooms and onions and garlic sauteing, and so we're going to add those. That softens them up because we are going to place this then in the oven to cook a little more. But what this does, it gives it a little head start. And of course, the flavors all melding together there. Okay. And then, again, whoops. Well, we won't pick that up on TV. You can add basically whatever you want to this, but we're going to use the turkey. And so we're going to use about 3 cups of turkey, sliced up. You can use breast, you can use dark, white meat. It's all good. Again, I'm going to add to this some ham, only because I like the flavor it brings. A little more zing, but again, it's completely up to you. So I'm going to add that, about a cup of diced ham. I'm going to start to mix this around a little bit to bring the spaghetti into it. Okay. Again, the peas are an option if you want to add something else to this. Be creative. So I'm going to add about a cup of peas or so. I kind of eyeball it, but it brings all these different flavors, different colors together. And then I'm going to add my secret ingredient, which is Alfredo sauce. And what this does is make it creamy and delicious. Some people will use cream of mushroom soup, but the recipe that I have calls for the Alfredo sauce. I learned this recipe this summer when I was looking for something I can make in the crock pot, because you can do this also in the crock pot when the seminarians were here and was cooking for 4 of us in the summer. And then we're going to add the cheese for inside. Again, that's at that 5 blend cheese. Again, you can use as much as you want or as little as you want. So roughly about 2 cups. I'm going to go a little lighter on this today. And it depends how much you have and how cheesy you want it. But it does create and give it body inside as well too, and hold it together. Now, of course, like anything before it's cooked or gelled together, it looks a little goofy, but I assure you it is excellent. I'm going to take a casserole, and I'm going to spray it with some non-stick spray. Just makes cleanup so much easier. And we're then going to just put our tetrazzini into the pan, the casserole dish. I researched what tetrazzini actually came from and where it came from, and actually I thought it maybe came from a town in Italy called Tetrazzini, but it didn't. It came from an opera singer named Tetrazzini who sang in the US, and someone made her this dish. Now there's different legends about it. Some say it happened in San Francisco, some say it happened in New York, but this was her favorite dish, this type of baked pasta. We're using impasta with the spaghetti squash, and that's where it came from. It was named after her. At least that's what Wikipedia told me. Then we're going to take our mozzarella to create that layer on top. And this will get golden brown, hopefully, and bubbly. Again, you eyeball it. I said 2 cups, depends really. That way you definitely have enough. Then I'm going to place this in the oven for about 30 minutes on 350. It'll kind of gel together, all those things will mix together. And I typically put a lid on it for the first 25 or so, and then take it off at the end to get it a little more crispy. But we have one done for you. I'm going to show you, so I find something that's pretty hot and bubbly to take it out of the oven. And there you are. Now, you want to let it sit for a while because it's hot and it'll be able to move a little bit. We had some made before, and so that's what it'll look like once you take it off. So we hope you enjoy it. Thanks for coming to the kitchen today. And hey, if you want to come in and teach us to cook something here, teach me to cook something here in the Rectory Kitchen, please let us know and we'll put you on the show.
I'm hungry.
You hungry?
I can't wait to make it.
It's good. It really is good. And
I am hungry.
it's amazing how the spaghetti squash really kind of seems like spaghetti, and
But it's not.
it's not. And so, healthy if you're watching carbs and things like that, and if you have a wheat allergy or whatever it might be,
It's a good dish.
it's really
I've had it before. It's great.
Especially after you've gorged yourself on Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of cheese in it. I get that, but cheese makes everything better. Cheese and bacon.
Yeah, cheese and bacon.
Cheese and bacon.
Cheese and
Cheese
bacon.
and everything. Cheese and bacon. Great. Well, so that brings us now to our little teaching segment that we have each week with Deb to help learn our faith a little better. And Deb, you have a special saint today who is the patron saint, really, of Catholic charity.
Yes, the patron saint of Catholic charities is Saint Elizabeth of Hungary. And she was a saint that lived back in the Middle Ages and really lived a short life, but had such a huge impact. Okay. So Saint Elizabeth was born back in 1207, and when she was very young, only about 4 years old, her father arranged for her to be married to a German nobleman, and his name was Ludwig. At the age of 6, her mom died, so she really had this sense of wanting peace and adopted a life of prayer prayer, and her mother's death changed her life dramatically. By the time she was 14, she ended up marrying Ludwig because this was an arranged marriage, and they had 3 children. 2 of them entered into this noble lifestyle because they were a noble family, and one of them entered the religious life. Elizabeth continued this life of prayer and service to the poor, and Ludwig supported her in this. She devoted her works of charity using her royal position to help the missions of charity. So the Franciscans, this order under St. Francis of Assisi, had really just taken off at this time, and friars had arrived when Elizabeth was about 16 years old, and this really spoke to her heart in this need to take care of the poor. So she spent her time going out and delivering food to the poor, mostly bread. She also set a time aside every day. We'll say that again. She set aside time every day to go out in plain clothes, so she didn't dress royally, to minister to the poor by delivering bread. There is even a living miracle that's attributed to her where she went out with her bread, and when she opened up her cloak, there were roses that were visible, which kind of reminds us of Juan Diego, 300 years later, when he opened up his tilma in Mexico, there were roses that came out of his tilma. So when her husband, Ludwig, died, she vowed never to marry again and devoted her whole life to serving the poor. She used money from the family inheritance there to start a hospital for the poor. She honored St. Francis by having this hospital in his honor. And believe it or not, she was only 24 years old when she died as well. One of the miracles that's attributed to her did happen while she was still alive. She had taken a leper in to the home and had this leper in her bed. And her mother-in-law went right to Ludwig and said, "There's a leper in the bed." And Ludwig went up, pulled the bed sheets off. And when he did, instead of seeing this leper, he had the vision of this leper being the crucified Jesus. And that really spoke to his heart, and especially in a Franciscan way, because the Franciscans really recognize that turning point in Francis's life when he kissed the leper. St. Elizabeth Ann. St. Elizabeth is the patron saint of not only Catholic charities, but patron saint of bread makers and brides and beggars and hospitals and the homeless.
Wow. So a great saint for us to think about this week after that incredible job you guys did on the pack to pick up food. So that brings us to Helen. What time is it now?
It's time to stump the priest.
And his sidekicks. I'm going to need help, I think.
Yes, you will.
Let's put our heads together.
Helen's questions are a little tougher than Father Miller's questions were.
Okay. So, Father Sullivan, colonists and Native Americans may not have had turkey at their feast in 1621. We don't really know the turkey fact for sure. But what do we know they did have? No fruits and vegetables. We all know about the corn and squash and everything else. What kind of protein, meaty things?
I'm going to say that they're probably, I'm going to say pheasant, quail. I'm going to say deer meat, like venison, and maybe fish.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Buffalo?
The deer was 5 deer were brought by the Native Americans to the feast. That is a known
Good
fact.
try.
Good try, Brian.
There's just a huge buffalo population in Massachusetts.
But they did not have buffalo, but they did have, and they have some kind of record of this.
They had buffalo?
No.
Oh, okay.
They had the
Okay,
deer. They had the deer, and they had lobster.
They had buffalo wings?
No. Lobster, seal, and swan. Yum, yum.
Swan.
Yes. Yes.
Probably tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. I don't know. So you were a quarter of the way, right? You got the venison, the deer meat. Yes.
So I got 25%.
Yes, 25%. Presidents originally had to declare Thanksgiving a holiday every year. So every year the president had to say this is a holiday, up until Lincoln made it officially a national holiday. So which president before Lincoln made it the official holiday refused to declare Thanksgiving a holiday? One of the presidents didn't go along with the program.
Wow. Refused. Boy, any guesses?
Not for me.
You're not going to talk now, are you?
No.
To the buffalo.
Done.
When in doubt, go Grant.
Grant, well, I'm going to say only because I think he was a little, not snarky, but the way sometimes he's presented in theater and movies and whatnot is John Adams was kind of like a grumpy guy, allegedly.
It was actually Thomas Jefferson.
I almost said that.
He so firmly believed in the separation of church and state, he refused to accept Thanksgiving as a holiday because prayers were said on that day.
Wow. Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
And that was a violation of the First Amendment. A Thanksgiving mix-up inspired the first TV dinners. Brian, true or false?
I'll say false. So it's true, right?
Yes, they somebody ordered tons and tons of turkey, and that was a mistake because they couldn't sell it. So they thought of the airplanes in 1953 that served meals on the airplanes. Mm-hmm. And he said, why don't we just separate aluminum trays in 1953 and fill them with this leftover turkey? Well, not leftover, but excess turkey, cornbread, gravy, peas, and sweet potatoes. We'll call it the Thanksgiving meal. Swanson sold it, 98 cents. Big hit. And I have to say, I did have one of those when I was younger. Did you ever have?
I never liked the turkey ones. Know what my favorite TV dinner? Salisbury steak.
Oh, yep.
Or the meatballs with the brown gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Which one
Eat
did you
them all
like?
the time.
Did you? All of us have had them. But you can imagine
yeah.
that's how it started.
Amazing.
1953 with turkey. Trivia.
Winter chicken dinner have something to do with this packaged meal, and you needed so much money to get the dinner, and that's what the phrase comes from?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
We'll look it up.
Okay.
I
Something else to look up.
I couldn't believe. I looked up the currants. By the way, they are raisins.
Or currants or raisins?
Mm-hmm. A special kind of grape dries up. Yeah.
To a currant. How about it?
Yep, I did look that one up. So, Father Sullivan, only male turkeys actually gobble. True or false?
Well, I could really go off on this a little bit, but I would think that because men sometimes are more quiet and women like to talk a little more. But I do believe. Oh, sorry.
No, I haven't thought on this, but go ahead.
I do believe that the gobble is a mating call. Maybe not, but I'm going to guess that and say that only male turkeys gobble.
Yay! He's correct!
You got one
right. That's the male
Yes.
turkey saying, "Hey, girls, check me out."
It is only the males. So
What was your theory?
That was my thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Which is
Not too much,
we don't
yeah.
talk too much.
Which is the preferred pie Americans eat on Thanksgiving? Apple or pumpkin?
Well, we know that in the Pritchard household,
There's no pumpkin.
there's not pumpkin.
No, I just don't eat it. I can't stand it.
I'm going to say, no, it's not here. Chocolate cream.
Well, of those two choices.
Apple or pumpkin?
Yeah.
I'm going to say pumpkin. Deb?
It's got to be pumpkin. It's the tradition.
Brian?
I'll say apple.
Brian, you are correct.
Oh!
According to the according to the American Pie Council, more Americans prefer apple, even though they sell 50 million pumpkin pies on Thanksgiving. So, does Canada celebrate Thanksgiving?
I believe yes. I'm not sure when or what it really commemorates, but I believe I've seen on a calendar Thanksgiving Day in Canada.
Yes, October 11th.
Whoa, you're both correct. Yes, they do have a Thanksgiving.
Hey, like that.
Oh, wow.
You're really making up for the buffalo.
Wow.
There you go.
So,
He
yeah,
was throwing us off by Buffalo.
that's right. He really knew. You're right. It's not about a pilgrim thing for them. But Martin Frobisher and his crew, that's who they're celebrating. And it is the second Monday of October. So October the 11th is correct. They do have floats in the parade, and they do eat turkey, and they have football games. But their biggest parade is called Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's a lot to say.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot to try to spell. Okay.
So everybody knew that.
No.
No?
No.
No.
You got us.
You are way ahead of us. Which president started the tradition of the official presidential pardon for the Thanksgiving turkey?
Well, see, I know I got an issue with this because when you have that presidential pardon, it kind of makes you feel bad then for having turkey.
I know.
Because, your turkey wasn't pardoned.
Right.
But that's beside the point. I think Brian has the answer.
I don't. I was going to guess.
Who were you gonna
Was
guess?
it Bush?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Look at you.
My gosh.
He's on fire. Let's just ask him the last question, too. Okay.
So some presidents did pardon the turkey sporadically. Lincoln once, Kennedy once, whatever. But it wasn't official until George W. Bush did it in 1989, which wasn't all that long ago.
Nope.
And the current president will be doing it on November 26th this year. November 26th.
Wow.
Pardon me. And to be honest, I didn't even know there was a presidential
That's a
pardon
big
for the
thing.
turkey.
Sometimes there's two
It
of
is.
them, or there's they present two of them and they pardon one or pardon both. Or,
Yeah, I never even heard of it till today.
yeah, it's confusing to me. It doesn't work.
No, I
brain.
don't understand.
How lucky are you if you're that turkey, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How lucky. I mean, how lucky. And how long is he pardoned for?
I don't know. I don't
Does
think.
Butterball have a claim on him afterwards?
I don't know.
If they bring him back next year, we know.
That's right. That's right. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade didn't feature any balloons. True or false?
What do you think? I'm going to say true.
Brian did it again.
Wow.
They had the parade in the early 20s, and the big debut, 1924, it had something crazier than balloons. Animals from the Central Park Zoo. So they paraded down the road.
Wow.
Animals from the Central Park Zoo.
Live animals.
Live
Wow.
animals.
What a perfect
That's
segue
Yes.
for
Yes.
our living nativity that's
There you
happening
go.
on December the 18th. And Deb, you are securing live animals.
Animals.
Tell us about these animals.
Well, we're going to have donkeys, multiple donkeys, alpaca, sheep. It's going to be wonderful.
Wow. Oh, exciting. More information coming soon about that. In fact, next week, our Tuesday before Thanksgiving show is really going to be kind of a preview for Advent, because Advent starts that Sunday after Thanksgiving. So we're going to give you next week a real big preview of what's coming our way for Advent and Christmas here at Good Shepherd. So until then, please
Be smart.
Be safe.
Be well.
be holy and
Be at peace.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.